This video is sponsored by Distrokid, and Distrokid, we already know, it's the best way to get your music on all these streaming platforms, whether that's Apple, Tidal, Spotify, Amazon, and even TikTok. I think they have a lot of really great features inside there. If you actually want to be a part of Distrokid, I have a link below in the description of this video. You can get 7% off your first year with Distrokid. I want to show you just one thing that I kind of just found out and stumbled upon with Distrokid. You can actually create your own website with them. Let's check it out. So basically all you do is you go to your section here, and then right here, Bandzoogle, it's brand new. Basically you can create your own website right here, Bandzoogle and Distrokid. And you can actually start one for free. Give you a 30-day free trial and no credit card or anything needed. You can just create your own website and see how that goes for you. There's not many other providers actually doing that like Distrokid, and I think you should definitely join them. Like I said, I have a link below in the description of the video. 7% off your first year with Distrokid. See you there. Peace. All right, welcome to my DAW tier list. So what I want to do is move my big face out of the way. All right, it's about to go down, man. We're about to see what DAWs go where. So we have an all around, a good, it's okay, needs work, and trash category. So let's start this off with a bang. This is a free DAW, and I see many people kind of use it, and I still think it sucks. So I'm going to dump it right in the trash, and that is LMMS. Fake FL Studio, crashes a lot, can't do audio. So there's that. We're going to put that and leave that one in the trash.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Yes, we will. Not. Anyway, next up, I'm going to go grab this one, Garageband, and we're just going to dump that right there in the trash as well.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
And here's the reason for that. This is only for Apple and iOS devices, so it can't be used anywhere else. I know there are people that's going to tell me, oh, I've made hits inside of Garageband. That's great. Still sucks. Still trash. Not a real DAW. All right, so next up, I want to mess with Luna. So this is a new DAW, and it's by UAD. I think it's okay, but really, in reality, for Windows, it's trash.
Fatality.
And here is the reason why it's trash. Ever since I've had this on my computer, all it does is crash. So if I'm using it for like any kind of like MIDI audio combination kind of thing, it just crashes. I don't know why. I'm missing VSTs inside there. I don't know why that's happening either. It does look pretty cool and sleek, but it has so many things missing in it. And it's like, why? Why are all these things missing? So I got to just give it.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
So hopefully they can get that next time. All right, let's move on. All right, so next up, I'm going to go with Machine. And Machine is actually not bad. It does need a lot of work. They need to add features in there so you can actually do like some recording for like vocals and actually track them out a little bit better than it is right now. Right now, it's just a machine. It just makes beats. I mean, that's all you can do in it. And it just, you know, it just doesn't work. So
mission failed. We'll get them next time.
The next one is going to be this Soundbridge. I know there are many people that have no idea what this is. I'm going to put it in the needs work section. This was a free DAW, but now I believe they've gone to a paid version where you have to actually pay for it. It was okay when it was free. I didn't like the fonts that it had. The workflow was a little weird as well. I did like a lot of the MIDI things that it did on there. It did come with a sampler and a drum machine. So it does need some work, but it's not bad. So let's move along. So next up, I'm going to go Mixcraft, and I'm going to put this in the needs work section as well. It's okay. I mean, it does need a lot of work to me. I don't like the workflow that it actually has inside there. Those little boxes for everything, boxes for MIDI to kind of shrink and stretch out MIDI, to do audio. It has a box around it. I don't know what that whole box thing is about, but I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's really easy to use. It's kind of self-explanatory if you're going through it, but I just think it needs a lot of work when it comes to the MIDI and even like the mixing part of it. It just needs some work. So there's that.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
All right, let's move along. So Serato Studio, I'm going to put this here as well on the needs work section. And the only reason that is in the needs work is because it's a subscription based only, and it doesn't really do the recording of like your audio inside there. So you can't like just like make a song out of it. Is mostly for, you know, chopping up samples, cutting up samples. But when you start to get into that, you know, the structuring of the track and that kind of stuff, that's where it may lack for you in some of those categories. So that's why you got to give it that.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
But we'll see what they do. All right, so next up, I'm going to do Audacity. And this one, I'm going to actually put in front of the needs work. This is actually a really good DAW to use if you are doing any kind of audio manipulation, if you need to fix any kind of audio, if you need to do like a podcast and kind of clean it up. This is the DAW that you would use. It is very, very good with audio. They even added a stem separation in here now for this DAW. So it just needs some work because you can't do like any kind of MIDI in there. I wouldn't necessarily record tracks in there. If I was doing like tracking for like a band or something like that, I wouldn't do it in Audacity, but it's still functional DAW and the audio in there is magnificent. All right. So next up we have Adour. So this one I'm actually going to put at the back of the needs work category. This is open source kind of DAW. You can use it on Linux. I think it was mostly made for Linux users. So Linux users will probably be mad if they watch this video, but I don't really care. This is my tier list. Anyway, I believe you can use it on Mac. I know you can use it on Windows. I've actually used it. I don't like the way the MIDI editor is set up or the piano roll. I think it needs a lot of work.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
All right, so next up, I'm going to do MPC, and I'm going to put this in the trash section. All right, and the reason that it's in the trash section
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
is that it just so difficult to use this DAW as a DAW. Like you can't really do any kind of recording inside there. Mixing is horrendous inside this thing. I know the MPC community is probably hating me right now, but that's okay. If you have an MPC on the outboard box, that's cool and all, but you still need to track it somewhere. Like where are you going to put your beat in a real DAW? So that's why it's in the trash section now. So there's that. Let's move along. All right, so next up, I'm going to do this Digital Performer. This is actually a really good DAW. I'm going to put it in the It's Okay category. You can use this if you are doing a lot of orchestral stuff. This is what this was used for. Really, really smooth. I didn't have any issues with it. No crashing or anything. He had like almost 200 tracks. So yeah, it wasn't CPU intensive like a lot of the other DAWs. So let's put it in that category there. Let's rock with Pro Tools. So let's go and put Pro Tools in the It's Okay section. I know everybody wants to put it down here. Everybody wants to put it down here. It doesn't belong down here though, right? It does need work. That is completely true, but it's okay. And the reason that it's okay is because it's still, to this day, industry standard. I know people don't want to hear that word, but it is what it is. If you go to a professional studio, more than likely, probably 9 times out of 10, they're going to have Pro Tools inside there, and that's what they're going to record with. The MIDI in it is trash. They are working on it to get it to where, you know, people are starting to feel Abbott again a little bit, but it's not anywhere close.
Fatality.
They just need to just, you know, scrap it and kind of build it over, but it's still okay. Next up, we're going to go Bitwig, and I'm going to put this in the It's Okay category as well. The synthesizers and things like that in there. If you are a sound designer, this is the DAW for you. If you are not a sound designer, this is not the DAW for you, because you can't really get the full-fledged experience of actually doing things inside here that other DAWs do. You can do your mixing, you can do your whole like synthesizer and all that other stuff in there. But when it comes to being a DAW, it's just okay. I'm sorry, waveform, traction waveform, and I'm going to put it in the It's Okay section. This DAW has a lot of really nice features in it. I think it comes with a lot of okay sounds. It could be better. I like the fact that it does have the stem separator inside there. You have the option for the DJ stuff. You can actually edit videos in here. Like if you have more than one video you want to kind of chop up, you can actually do that inside this DAW as well. I think this is like one of those DAWs that have like a marriage with a whole bunch of other DAWs. Like I think it has like a lot of Reaper inside of it. It has a lot of Ableton inside of it and a lot of Cubase inside of it. So like it's like all three of those formed in one to make this kind of DAW. The workflow is kind of weird at times. I don't necessarily like all the workflow of it, but it's okay. You can actually get the job done. If you need to record a band, anything like that, if you need to mix in here, you can actually get that done as well. I don't like the fact that their sends are kind of weird and all over the place. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm putting this down below. It's going to go into the needs work area because everything I'm saying says that it needs work. All right, let's keep going. All right, next up, I'm going to go with Reason, right? And Reason is going to be in the needs work section. I'm going to put it in the front of the needs work section. And the reason that is because it needs work. The thing about Reason is that they were so ahead and then got so far behind everybody else. The racks options was really, really dope. They had a whole bunch of samplers inside there, a whole bunch of really good, high quality sounds, but they fell behind the times when they didn't want to do VSTs. And VSTs was the thing that was popping on all these other DAWs, and people were upset with Reason that they did not update any of this stuff. You even got people like Kickback Couture who just put out a video saying she is no longer going to be using Reason, even though she just dropped like a whole 30 days of like Reason stuff in there. But she's moving on as well. And I don't know what else to say, but it does need some work. So
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
all right, so we're getting down to some big heavyweights down here. So I'm going to go with this one right here, Bandlab. And I'm actually going to put it in the good category. And the good category means that it is actually really good. As much as people will probably hate on me for this video for saying Bandlab is good, it really is. Just try it, yo. I was surprised, just to be honest with you. You can use it on any platform as long as you can get onto the web. That is probably the only downfall of it, but it's also a plus at the same time because you can save all your stuff on the cloud. You don't have to worry about it bogging down your computer and taking up memory on your computer. Everything is saved in the cloud. You can actually have a community behind you. You have a whole bunch of sounds that you can just pull from Bandlab stock, whether that be drum loops, whether that be samples, vocal chops, anything like that is already on the site, yo. Like you can have your own drum machine inside there. It has a sampler inside there. You can have your auto tune already set up on your tracks. Like, I mean, what else is there to do, yo? Like the only thing that it doesn't really have is a mixer. I think that's probably like the only flaw that I can really say right now that it has. And probably the fact that if you don't have internet, you can't get on there. But other than that, I mean, it's a great DAW, yo. Like you have enough tracks to make a song. You don't have like the unlimited tracks like a lot of these other DAWs. So if you're doing orchestral work, I would say no. If you're recording like a band, you could probably do that inside of Bandlab, just to be honest with you. Like you can set it up to have different mics and things like that. So it does have the capability of actually doing some recording. It's more for the younger generation that's actually coming up trying to do music. It gives you a free alternative to actually do all these things. You can collab online. You could do the forking option. I know that sounds weird, but you can do that online as well. So I have to give it a good, right? So let's keep moving on. So seeing that we're in this Cakewalk Bandlab experience, I'm going to put Cakewalk in the It's Okay section. The reason that it's just in the OK section is because it's only for Windows. It doesn't do Mac or online or anything like that. I mean, you can pull some of the Bandlab stuff in there. If you created something in Bandlab, you can actually pull it inside of Cakewalk and vice versa. You can send stuff from Cakewalk to Bandlab. So I feel that part about it is pretty dope. Cakewalk is a full-fledged DAW. It has almost everything you will ever need except for a sampler. The export on there is second only to Reaper. It has the arranger view, which is really, really dope. A lot of DAWs don't have that option to do the arrangement like you can inside of Cakewalk. I think they have done a really good job with that. They have a matrix in there, which is kind of like the launcher. If they updated that, they updated the step sequencer and they added a sampler in here and maybe even like a drum machine, this DAW could probably be in the top tier as well. But I don't know why they took so long, but they still have not done it for Mac. Even the new Sonar that's out is not for Mac. And I have no idea why they didn't try to do that with this new update for Sonar. But that's neither here nor there. Let's keep moving. All right, so now we're down to the big six. And I'm going to start with this one right here, Logic. And I'm going to put this right in front of Bandlab as a good DAW. And the only reason that it's in the good section is because it's only for Apple. So if you don't have an Apple computer, you cannot use Logic Pro. I think that's the biggest downfall of it. The stock sounds on here are truly amazing. The effects on there are super good. Like this DAW has pretty much everything you need. Then they added the step sequencer. They added the stem separation on there. They had added the mastering effects on there as well. Solid DAW. The only reason I can't give it all around is because it's not on any other platform except for Apple. And let's start with Studio One. And I'm going to put this one as an all-around DAW. And the reason that I'm putting it up here now is because this is the DAW that a lot of people are going to replace Pro Tools. So I've been to a couple of big studios and they had Studio One running as their main DAW inside there. So if you're recording a band, if you're doing mixing and mastering, they have a really cool mastering suite inside there. If you're doing any kind of production, it's really cool. You can actually do, film and video kind of things in there and add, your own sounds. Really smooth DAW. The only issue I've ever had with it was the CPU. It just really sucked a lot of the CPU when you're using some of the things inside there. It kind of reminded me of like FL Studio. FL Studio has that issue as well. But all around, it's a solid DAW. It is a complete DAW. We're going to go with Cubase. And Cubase is another one of those DAWs all around. You have everything you need inside this DAW to get it to work. Like you have your MIDI is probably one of the best MIDI devices out there, or DAWs out there for sure. Recording, top notch. Mixing, mastering, a lot of people have done that in there. People have done film editing inside here, done whole orchestrals inside this DAW. So it can do the work, and it does everything very well and proficient as well. So Cubase, definitely all around DAW for sure. Next up, I'm going to go Reaper. And Reaper belongs down here. And if you're just tuning in, you don't understand. Reaper belongs down here if you just do Reaper by itself. If you don't do SWS, you don't do RIA packs, this is where Reaper goes, in the trash. But if you do add SWS and you do add RIA packs, this is one of the best all-around DAWs, hands down. The only issue that anyone can say about Reaper is that it has a steep learning curve, which some people say it does. I don't think it did. It just took some time to get used to it, just like any other DAW, and that it doesn't come with any sounds whatsoever. Then that would be the only qualm you have with Reaper. But otherwise, as a DAW, flawless. Mixing, mastering, video editing, comping. They have take lanes now. Their export is the best export. I dare anyone to challenge me on Reaper's export. It is the best export in the game right now. And they just updated it in the 7.24 update that they just released. So with that being said, Reaper is one of the best all around DAWs, period. I've said it. Challenge me. All right. The big two. Let's start with FL Studio. And I'm going to put FL Studio at good. Here's the reason why. The only thing that I feel that is lacking right now is the option to really do vocals and recording inside there. Like there's no one that I know recording a whole band or anything like that inside of FL Studio. Yes, you can mix inside of FL Studio, but a lot of people don't mix and master inside of FL Studio unless it's just a beat. To actually do songs inside there, you can do it. Don't get me wrong. I know FL community is probably going to be upset at this, but it's just not that good, man.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
And if you don't agree with that, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be that way. If you don't feel that it's I'm giving you a fair chance, FL Studio. It just lacks in that area right now. But I'm really proud of FL Studio. The leaps and bounds that they have made just this year and the updates that they've done, truly, truly amazing, yo. Now you can actually do fades in there. You couldn't even do fades inside of FL Studio at one time. So you have the volume gauge on there now. You have your fades on there now. You have the integration with Distrokid. And shout out to Distrokid, who is the sponsor of this video. So yeah, you can even do your Distrokid stuff straight through FL Studio. I thought that was really dope. They have the mastering on there. They have plugins that you can buy in there now. They also have the FL Cloud where you can actually download kits and sounds and vocal chops and things like that. So they have that same mentality as Bandlab. I think these two are like definitely neck and neck when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I still have FL as a good. All right, Ableton Live is going to go up here into the top tier. And the reason is because it just has so many great things inside. The clip launcher is probably second to none. Everybody is trying to bite off their clip launcher. They have the option to do a lot of the things that you can do inside of FL Studio. When it comes to audio manipulation, I think Ableton Live has probably the best manipulation of audio that I've seen. I'm not a fan of the look of it. It still looks like it's an incomplete DAW, but all around you can do recording inside there. You can do your mixing. I don't like the mixing inside of Ableton, just to be honest, but it still can be done inside there. So I feel that it is definitely an all-around DAW with the sounds that it comes with, the effects that it comes with, and everything that you have when you get live. And it works with almost every single MIDI keyboard, which is truly amazing. Like every keyboard comes with like an Ableton Live disc inside there. So like it has its quirks, but it's still a really, really good DAW. But with that being said, that's pretty much, this is my list. This is my tier list. If you disagree or agree, let me know below in the comment section what you guys do agree with and what you guys do disagree with. If your DAW is lower on the list, you know,
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm going to clap it up for this one. Thank you guys for watching this. Once again, if you haven't already, make sure you are liking and subscribing to the channel. And this your boy, X.E.L. Until next time, people. Peace.
AutoRewind.